Hello and welcome to Wait for Real,
A true crime and paranormal podcast. I'm Grace,
and I'm Katie.
and we're looking unique today.
That's a word for it. My camera looks like shit when we're recording. I have no idea if that's what it's actually gonna look like, but it looks like I'm using like a camcord from like 2000. Like that's the quality I'm getting right now. Grace looks crisp and clear, like she were
We don't need
sitting
it.
here
We
right
don't
in
need
front of
it.
me.
We don't need the crisp and clear. Fuck no. No, it's weird because I'm like losing my voice too, so I'm gonna see how long this lasts. Um, because it's my episode, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm like,
There's
I'm
like
not
an extra ratchet.
surprised.
I'm like, don't look at my gray hair, guys. Stop.
Stop looking at her.
I have such a big forehead. I have a
No,
five
you
head.
do not.
I have a complex about this.
Do
Anyways,
you really?
yeah, I fear I have a huge forehead.
I don't think so.
It literally, you could land a plane on this forehead. Like MCO, same
Uh,
size as my forehead.
you're like,
Maybe I have
this
a
is
receding hairline.
no, you do not. Do not give yourself a new fake insecurity. You don't have a receding hairline.
I don't know.
She's like, let me lean in. Everybody take note. Look as the weeks follow, see if it continues to recede.
I just like slowly just lose all of my hair.
Oh my
Like,
God.
yeah, but I got a lumpy head, so I can't really go bald. It'd look
Mm-mm.
weird. Anywho, um
Off to a great start
yeah,
today.
yeah. hmm Before we get started, this is in relation to last week's episode. So last week we were doing like all those scary dorm room things and scared ourselves.
Yeah.
So I had a friend reach out to me, and I'm not going to say their name in case they don't want me to, and I forgot to ask them. And we're
Okay.
recording, so it's too late now.
Okay.
But they said, so they went to college with me, and they said, I was working housing and food over the summer after that kid died. So remember the story I said, like a kid just died while we were in college?
Mm-hmm.
And he had died in a specific dorm room, like a
Okay.
specific dorm, whatever. She said that she had to check all the keys to the dorm rooms that they were assigning to elementary school kids for a basketball camp. So during the summer when the college is empty, they bring all the kids in, they do a sleepaway camp, whatever. This is the dorm, the building that they were going to be staying in. Um, so one of the keys didn't end up working, and it was because it was the room where the kid had died. They had to rekey the room because people kept trying to get in and see what happened.
That's so fucked.
And so they got a new key, and they had to make two 11-year-olds sleep in that room. She was like,
Oh my
she literally
God.
was like, I felt so bad the whole time. And she says, I remember myself and her coworker were like, maybe the first person to sleep in this potentially haunted room shouldn't be a child.
You'd think.
And she was like, they didn't care.
That's amazing.
That's crazy. Ugh, no, thank you.
And in case anybody was wondering, I can't believe it's been a week since that happened, but um, I survived. Obviously, here I am. Nothing got me in the middle of the night that night.
Oh my god, I
Oh,
forgot
you
about
have to tell.
me.
Yeah, I was like, Grace, not so much.
Oh my
I actually
gosh.
slept through the night. It was crazy.
I completely forgot.
I
Holy
did
crap.
too.
So that night, in the middle of the night, okay, let me preface this. I've never had this happen to me before, ever, in
Hmm.
my entire life. I woke up in the middle of the night and I had sleep paralysis. I
Hmm.
could not move my body. It was the scariest thing I'd ever felt in my entire life. Like I literally was like trying to turn my head and my head just wouldn't go. It felt like something was sitting on my head. And I freaked the fuck out. I was
Hmm.
unwell the whole time. I was like, okay, this is
Fair.
it. Something's here to get me. Bye guys. Like subscribe to my channel.
Literally, it's your last chance before Grace goes and becomes a ghost
Literally.
herself.
It was so scary. I
No,
texted
it's the
Katie the next morning. I was
scariest
like, what the
thing.
fuck just happened to me?
It's horrifying. I've only had it happen like once or twice. I remember the first time I was at my mom's house. I was in my early 20s and like I fell asleep in her bed. She was like in the office and then I woke up and I couldn't move and I couldn't talk or scream. I
Yeah.
was like trying so hard to focus on moving like my pinky finger or something, anything, because I was like nothing is moving.
It was horrifying. I survived, but
I'm
at
so
what
glad, but
cost?
even I mean like even more so when you're alone in a
Yeah.
house.
Well, the thing that also scared me is like my cats were like my cat that was sleeping in my room with me, Pancake. He like was looking at me and like trying to get me to do something, and I was like literally like I can't physically move. Like I
I
can't
hate
do
that.
anything.
You're like pancake, not now.
Yeah, it was not a good time. Not 0 out of 10 would not recommend. But anyways, we survived. We made it to another week.
I'm so
And we're
glad.
not doing haunted stuff today.
That's right.
We're going right back to potential murder and or missing person case.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
So this is going to come as a shock to all of you. I have notes in 17 tabs.
Yes.
So, me as a person, we're going to work through this the best that we can, okay?
We love to see
Follow
it.
along, kids, because it's about to be a fucking doozy. So, I first heard of this case honestly, like, I think like a month or two ago, and somebody
Okay.
had said it to me. So, where I work, and like what I do on the weekends, like people know that I have this podcast, and some people every once in a while they'll be like, "Oh, have you ever heard of this?" or "Oh, have you ever heard of this?" And I'm always like, "No, no, no." I was like, "Probably Katie does." So, I finally was like, "Okay, I'm gonna text Katie and ask her if she had heard of this case," and she said that she did not. She did look it up a little bit, not too much though, just to see if she knew anything about it.
I just looked up so I could see the picture because I was like, I don't recognize the name, but I would recognize the face.
See, I don't recognize anything, and I don't even know what we talked about last week half the time. So here
It's
we are.
okay.
So this specifically takes place in Florida,
Hmm.
and we know that Florida is known for, racist people and Republicans and
Alligators.
alligators and, like Florida man headlines.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, those stories are usually pretty sensationalized.
Hmm.
And there's a lot of more like dark history to Florida, which Katie's talked about a lot with like St. Augustine and stuff like that.
Right.
And so this is a real life mystery that spans several months. And it involves two missing men.
Okay.
And there's only one common thread, and the last person known to have seen them alive is the same person.
That's enough for me.
Yep.
Goodbye. No.
Yep. So this is the story of Terrance Williams and Felipe Santos, who were two men that vanished in Naples, Florida, after separate encounters with the same sheriff's deputy.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Didn't know it was going to be police corruption too.
Oh yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah.
We're
So,
diving right in.
yep. So Terrance Williams was 27 years old when he vanished in January of 2004. He was a father of four. He was a pizza delivery driver, and he had recently moved to Naples. So he had recently moved to Florida to be closer to his mother. His mother's name is sometimes pronounced Marcia or Marcia. We're gonna go with Marcia because that's how I say it in my head.
Okay.
Anyways, he had moved there recently from Chattanooga, Tennessee. Okay. So when asked how you would describe him, people said that he was warm, funny. He was always looking to get his back on, like he was looking to get his life back on track.
Right.
He'd had some run-ins with the law in the past, things like driving without a license, missed court dates, but nothing violent. It was always something as simple as, like he did get arrested at one point for driving under the influence. But at this time, he was working two jobs. He was present. He was trying to make sure he had money for his kids, like child support, all those things, right? So on the evening of January 11th, so this is a Sunday night, William's roommate, Jason Gonzalez, said that he spoke to Terrence on the phone before heading to bed. He was like, hey, just chatting with him, getting an update on what he was doing. And at that night, Terrence had decided he was going to a party. So he was driving a white Cadillac, and it was not registered in his name,
Okay.
and it had expired tags. And also, I do want to note that Terrence did not have a valid license.
Okay.
He had not paid the fines to get his license renewed, and he also didn't have the corrected registration on the car. It wasn't a smart idea, but people do that, and it's not really uncommon. Like, I'm
That's
not
true.
trying to
Yeah.
say like,
It's
oh
very
my God, he's
common.
the only person that's ever done this. And he had said to his roommate, I'm just driving from here to the party and then back. Like, I'm not going to be
Right.
going
Out
around
and about.
town. Yeah.
And really quick, what year was it? I know you said January 11th.
This is 2004.
Okay.
And so the roommate hears from him then. The next morning, he never came home. So Gonzalez became concerned when he didn't return home, but he was like, maybe he stayed there for the day. He never heard back from him, whatever it may be. But then on January 13th, he emailed Marcia, Terrence's mother.
Okay.
And I don't know why email, but he emailed her and said,
It's
hey,
2004.
well, yeah, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
But basically said, hey, I'm concerned. I haven't seen Terrence in like 24 hours. He was supposed to come back. He never did.
Mm-hmm.
After this, the Williams family, well, Marcia specifically, like immediately called the police and filed a missing persons report. And they weren't very helpful. Shocking. But shortly after this, William's aunt was actually able to track down the Cadillac. And the reason why is because it had been towed from Naples Memorial Cemetery after obstructing traffic. And I'm doing like the
Air
parentheses,
quotes.
air quotes, thank you. I was
Yep.
like parentheses, that would be this. Anyways, um, again, they said it had been obstructing traffic next to the cemetery. So the tow report was signed by Deputy Steve Kalkins of the Collier County Sheriff's Department.
Okay.
So the family contacted the sheriff's department and discovered that Kalkins actually never filed an incident report, nor had he made an arrest in relation to this vehicle.
Okay.
So Marcia contacted the workers at the cemetery, who told her that they had witnessed Kalkins pull Williams over and ask for his identification. And at this time, he did not have it because remember, his license had been revoked. He had not paid the fines to get it back.
Okay.
So employees stated that Kalkins patted Williams down and put him in the back of his patrol car. Before driving off with Williams, Kalkins then asked the cemetery employees if he could leave the Cadillac in the parking lot.
Oh my God.
In a parking lot, right?
Yeah.
Then Kalkins was witnessed returning to the cemetery between 15 minutes to an hour later and moving the Cadillac from the parking spot to the side of the road to obstruct traffic and then place the car keys on the ground besides the car.
I wonder if he was thinking someone would steal it or hoping to like get rid of
Well,
the car.
that's a good point. So following this witness statement, right, the Williams
Mm-hmm.
family repeatedly called the sheriff's department asking to speak to Kalkins. Upon being contacted by dispatch, Kalkins claims to have no memory of making any arrests or having any cars towed on the day of Williams' disappearance.
That's
He was,
fucked.
yeah. So I actually got the audio files from the
Mm-hmm.
dispatch call,
Mm-hmm.
and you can hear, and I'll like link, I don't know how to link those actually. I don't know how to do any of
Are
that.
they files?
They're like, yeah, they're audio files.
Can you
I
send
guess
them
we could
to
put it
me?
in.
I can put it
Yeah.
in, yeah, to
Yeah, and
the
I could
video
probably put them
too.
into this as well. But essentially, like at this time, like you'll probably listen to it, blah, 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 blah. But
Yeah.
essentially what you're hearing is a woman, the dispatch calling Steve on his day off. He's sitting at home and she's like, this lady's been calling us nonstop and nagging us because she says that you arrested her son and there's no report record. And he was like, I never did that. I don't know what she's talking about. I haven't arrested anyone in weeks. Like that type of thing. Regardless, sus, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first recollection he has, is none, basically. He was then contacted later on and then claimed to have a somewhat better recollection of his contact with Williams. Okay. So this is a few days later. Basically, Kalkin's supervisors say, hey, you need to submit an incident report. If you got this
Mm-hmm.
car, if you arrested this guy, didn't arrest this guy, regardless, the car was towed, you need to submit something.
Right.
So his report, and I did read some of it as well, states that he first came in contact with Williams at 12:15 p.m. after noticing that his car was driving, and then in air quotes, in distress. The cemetery employees were called to stop happening at 9 or 10 a.m., a claim which is seemingly supported by the fact that Williams' shift that day was scheduled to begin at 10 a.m.
Okay.
So now we already have this discrepancy. So Kalkins,
So
go ahead.
so he was going to a party,
The night before.
and so then he never went home after. Is that what we're thinking? Like maybe he stayed
Maybe
because the
stay the
roommate
night and
never
the
saw
next day.
him was
Correct.
going to work. Okay. Just wanted to make
That's the
sure.
way that I'm understanding it.
Okay.
Regardless, essentially what happened at this point is that Kalkins claimed that he followed Williams to the cemetery parking lot because he worked at the cemetery. Okay?
Oh, okay,
Williams
okay.
did.
This is making way more sense now. Okay.
Yeah. Not just a random. Sorry. I should have
That's okay.
probably gave a better
You
context.
got there. It's all good.
So again, like I said, Kalkins claimed that Williams, he followed Williams to the cemetery parking lot and that he had asked for a ride to a nearby Circle K convenience store because he was late for work.
Mm-hmm.
Parentheses, Williams did not work at Circle K. Okay? Let's
Right.
just leave it at that.
He worked at the cemetery.
So, according to Calkins, after dropping him off at the Circle K, Williams told him the paperwork for the car was in the vehicle's glove compartment. Calkins claimed that he returned to the Cadillac and discovered that the proper registration was not in the car and that he felt deceived. So he called the Circle K from his work issued cell phone and asked to speak to Williams. The clerk allegedly told him over the phone that Williams did not work there. According to the report, Calkins then called in his license plate number and found that the plates were expired. However, further investigation revealed that the phone and surveillance records did not back up his story whatsoever. There
Right.
was no sign of Williams or Calkins on surveillance footage from the Circle K, and the phone records from Calkins' cell phone showed no call to the Circle K. They interviewed the Circle K employees, and there were no witnesses, and nobody could place either of them at the Circle K at this time, right? So at this time, Marcia files the complaint against Calkins.
Hmm.
Terrence's mom is like, fuck you, you're lying about something. I
Well,
don't
it's
trust
also
it.
like weird. So like she's calling, being like, "Where is my son?" And the first call with dispatch is like, "No, I never arrested anybody." He wasn't like, "Oh yeah, I pulled this guy over and I took him there." And like he never says this story once before he has to write an incident report, and then he makes this bullshit claim.
Correct. And he said that he was giving him a courtesy ride.
Fuck off.
Yeah. And also, I do want to say, so there's record of Calkins calling in the car to get it towed, and he provides the wrong VIN number. I don't know what that means in terms of like what that adds to the story, but I'm telling you anyways.
Okay.
So, again, Calkins says, well, he must have just vanished after I dropped him off. And somebody says, it's going to be unbelievable, but it's also happened before. So, now we're going to talk about 3 months earlier. So now we're in October of 2003. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Another man disappeared after being picked up by Deputy Steve Kalkins. His name was Felipe Santos. He was a 24-year-old undocumented Mexican immigrant who worked in construction. He was married, responsible, and trying to build a life. His family was back home in Mexico while he was here sending them money. On the morning of October 1st, Felipe had gotten into a minor accident on his way to work. Let me give you a little bit more context here. So, again, he was leaving here illegally. He had been in the US for 3 years at the time of
Mm-hmm.
this disappearance. And he lived in, it's called Immokalee, Florida, which is not that far from Naples.
Okay.
At approximately 6:30 in the morning, he was driving to work with his two brothers when he was involved in a minor car accident, a little fender bender in Naples. Calkins cited Santos for reckless driving and driving without a license or insurance and placed him in his patrol car. So this was done in front of everybody. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Calkins was the first person to arrive at the scene, or the first, he was dispatched to the crime, the scene. You know what I'm talking
Right.
about.
Yep.
Words
He's
are
the
hard.
first officer on the scene.
Thank you.
Yep.
And Santos was last seen riding away with Calkins, and he was never seen again. So,
Do you know, you might not, do you know if either time they were seen being placed in the car with handcuffs or were they just put in the back of the car? Like,
oh,
were
I
they
don't
being
know.
arrested or were they, I mean, arrested? I'm doing air quotes. You can't see me if you're listening.
I
Um,
don't know. That's a good question. I
okay.
should probably. Okay, so I have learned that there's like a shit ton of documentaries about this now.
Hmm.
So didn't watch all of them because I don't have the subscription. So sorry, guys.
It's okay.
Go watch them. But let's get back to where we're at here. So again, he gets put in the back of the car, driven away. Later that day, Santos's boss contacts the county jail and's like, "Hey, I got to post bail for my employee." Um, and this is when they discovered that Santos was actually never booked. He was never taken in, he was never booked, never did fingerprints, nothing. So Calkins claims that he had changed his mind about the arrest because Santos was being, in parentheses, air quotes, polite and cooperative. So what
Okay.
he did is he left him at a local Circle K and
What is
drove
with
off.
this man in Circle K?
Oh, wait, it's the same Circle K.
Oh, good. Even better.
So I went on to Google Maps and I found locations of both of these arrests or potential arrests.
Hmm.
So the cemetery where Terrence was last seen was exactly 3 miles from the scene of where Santos was arrested,
Okay.
right? The Circle K was 1 block from where Santos's car accident occurred.
Okay.
1 block.
Yeah.
So he's saying he drove him 1 block
Yeah.
and then dropped him off at the Circle K.
Like 30 seconds.
Not even. Like
Yeah.
literally, like
Like
Google
15
Maps is like you
seconds.
literally say like walking, it's like less
A
than a minute.
minute. Yeah.
So again, same Circle K, all within like a 3 mile radius of Naples. Okay. So the reason for leaving Santos at the Circle K is unclear, as his place of work was just as close by, and his foreman was on the way to pick him and his brothers up from the scene of the car accident. So again, it's not making sense because at this point, you're thinking, okay, so he's getting arrested, but then he gets dropped off at the Circle K and doesn't just walk back the 1 minute to get
It's a
picked up by the foreman.
block. Right. It's
Yeah.
one block.
And the other driver involved in the accident said that Kalkins was agitated about Santos' lack of documentation. And he was quoted saying, or the person was quoted saying, he just stated that he was tired of pulling people over that didn't have licenses. So in either case, there's no evidence that Santos ever arrived at the Circle K. Kalkins' location after leaving the site of the accident was uncertain and unaccounted for nearly 2 hours. So on October 29th, so this is 2 weeks after the incident, Kalkins submits his incident report. And as soon as that happens, Santos's family files a missing persons report as well as a complaint against Kalkins. Because they're like, it took 2 weeks. We haven't heard from him in 2 weeks. Now you're saying there was an incident report and now we haven't heard from him.
Right.
So an internal investigation cleared Kalkins of any wrongdoing on November 27th. So his wife, Santos's wife, Apollonia Cruz Cortez, has questioned the quality of the investigation into the disappearance, citing the fact that she was never interviewed by investigators. No one ever called her back. No one ever gave her the time of day. And a lot of people say like this could be as a result of the fact that he was an illegal immigrant and she was not here in the U.S.
Yeah.
Depends on who you're talking to. Because I've also read somewhere that she was in the U.S. and it was like other family that wasn't in the U.S., but we're going with what I have here.
Okay.
So let's talk further suspicion. So more suspicion was cast onto Kalkins whenever a recording of his call to dispatch requesting a tow of Williams' car revealed conflicting statements. So remember how I said this earlier. So in the recording, Kalkins described the car as an abandoned and blocking the road. This statement contradicted both his incident report and the witness statements that said Kalkins himself had moved the vehicle to the location and purposely blocked the road and put the car keys there. Kalkins joked with the operator, saying, "Maybe he's out there in the cemetery. He'll come back for his car and it will be gone," and laughed. He was also heard using inappropriate language during the call, describing the car as a homey Cadillac and as a piece of junk Cadillac. Kalkins defended his misstatements to the operator, telling investigators that he was joking around with a coworker. He also insisted that he had moved the car to assist the towing company, as opposed to attempting to make it look abandoned.
Right. He moved it to assist the towing company, but called it in saying that he wanted it towed because it was blocking traffic.
Yes. And he also claimed in the recording that the car was disabled and unable to move, which the Williams family objected to because they went to the freaking tow yard and immediately was able to drive the car off the lot.
Yeah.
They're like, there was no issues with the vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
So another suspicious moment here. So again, he's saying this happened around 12:15, right?
Mm-hmm.
At approximately 1:12 p.m., Kalkins requested a background check on Terrance Williams, giving an inaccurate birth date, a specific date that Williams had previously given to the police when he was arrested. A separate incident, separate time. This contradicts Kalkins' earlier statement that he never knew Williams' last name or any other personal information about the guy. After this call, Kalkins was unaccounted for nearly an hour.
Right.
This period actually might be closer to 2 hours, as Kalkins' claims of other activities are not corroborated by any documentation, so they really don't have a good idea there on what's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I tried to listen to the these calls, and it's nearly impossible to pick up based on like the dispatch radio chatter, which sucks.
Yeah.
Um, but then they basically were like, obviously they were investigating him, so they made Culkin go through 3 polygraph tests. Of those, well, I know your thoughts, you hate them.
Yes.
Of those 3 tests, 1 was found inconclusive, 1 which indicated honesty, and 1 indicated deception. AKA super helpful.
Yeah. Great.
I'm gonna take a sip of water. Oh my god, the same time as me. Love is for us.
We're so connected.
We really are. Oh my god. It's almost like we hang out or something.
Almost.
So in this instance, the main person of interest in the case is a police officer. So the Florida Department of Law Enforcement and the FBI were called in to work on the case.
Right.
So various investigation techniques were used. For example, they did a covert placement of a GPS tracker on Culkin's vehicle. They did a forensic investigation of the patrol car. They had cadaver dogs that were used to survey the areas identified by the GPS. No evidence ever turned up from these, which is interesting to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
So Calkins was subsequently fired from the department for providing conflicting information about 2 missing person cases and for not cooperating with the investigation.
Right.
As soon as, he was fired, and then the dates of when he left, I couldn't get the right date. Like, I had 3 different dates written down. But basically, he left Florida, and he went to, I believe, Iowa. And with that being said, Terrence Williams was declared legally dead in 2009 because you have to let a certain amount of time pass with the missing person, and his family expected this closure at this point. So now let's talk about how this became a big deal, how people came to know about this, and why podcasts like us are covering this case.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, we're talking 2003, 2004 timeframe. There was no leads for a number of years until 2012. And that was when a number of national programs picked up the case. So those included the show Disappeared, Anderson Cooper 360, Dateline NBC, and in 2017, the investigation discovery series Deadline Crime with Tamron Hall investigated the disappearance of Williams and Santos.
Mm-hmm.
And then it also took a big hit because entertainment mogul Tyler Perry was on MSNBC's talk show with Al Sharpton, I think is his name. And they discussed the disappearances. And Tyler Perry himself offered $200,000 in reward for information in connection to the cases.
That's amazing.
Correct. Nothing ever came of it, which is unfortunate as of now.
Yeah.
But on August 30th, 2018, a wrongful death lawsuit was filed against Calkins.
Mm-hmm.
The victims' families were represented by a civil rights attorney, Benjamin Crump, who's a big name in the law world.
Yep, we've talked about it before.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And in 2020, Calkins' attorney took a deposition from Marcia Williams, Terrence's mother.
Mm-hmm.
Later that year, the case entered a non-binding arbitration, where the arbitrator ultimately entering a non-binding judgment in favor of Calkins.
What the fuck?
Although the Crump team attempted to appeal it, a judge dismissed the case and ruled that Marcia Williams had to pay Calkins around $5,600 for costs related to the lawsuit.
What the fuck?
And Tyler Perry went on to release a documentary series called Never Seen Again in May of 2022, which addressed the disappearance of both of these men.
What the fuck?
Yeah. So let's talk the few theories. So one theory that I have to say it, I'm not saying that this is what it is. I have to say it because this is from the Sheriff's Department.
Mm-hmm.
So the Sheriff's Department theory is that both men left on their own accord to avoid trouble with the law, as Santos was an undocumented immigrant and Williams had a warrant related to unpaid child support. However, both men's families obviously denied this claim, pointing to their strong relationships with their families and their children.
It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I know. And a Sunoco clerk claimed that he had seen Williams alive in the store on January 19th of 2004. But the surveillance footage from that day actually doesn't show Williams in the building. The worker they think misidentified somebody, which is obviously very common whenever
Yeah.
the person's picture is posted everywhere. And workers on this case have said that there's no evidence that Williams was ever seen again after that first encounter with Kalkins.
Right.
Now I'm wondering if it's like Kalkins or something. I've been pronouncing that wrong too. We'll
How do
never
you
know.
spell it?
Kalkins.
Whatever. Who cares? He's a piece
Eh,
of shit. But
we're
I,
going for it. Yeah, he is a piece of shit. Well, I
yeah.
mean, yeah, our opinion is he's a piece of shit. Okay.
Okay. I'm stating it as a fact.
Yeah,
Thank
okay,
you.
you're allowed. You're allowed. So, another possible theory, and this is more popular on if you see it on Reddit and things, is the Starlight Tour theory. So, this term originated in the Canadian province of Saskatchewan, and it's described as the practice of police driving individuals to the edge of town or outside the city limits and abandoning them to find their own way home.
Jesus Christ.
So, this practice came into light in the early 2000s when an Indigenous Canadian man named Daryl Knight reported being picked up by a police officer after leaving a party. He was driven to the outside of town and then dropped off in a rural area in freezing conditions.
Oh my God.
Knight survived after finding a nearby power plant staffed by a security guard. The next morning, another Indigenous man named Rodney Naitis was found frozen to the ground near where Knight had been dropped off. Lawrence Wangener, also Indigenous, was also found deceased a week later in the exact same area. According to Russ Sabo, Saskatchewan's new police chief, evidence exists that similar drop-offs have gone on since at least the 1970s. So this is, again, this theory that it's the Starlight Tour theory that they're dropping off at the edge of town, and maybe that's what Kalkins did to both Santos and Williams.
Okay, I'll let you get through all the theories and then I'll say my piece.
Yeah. So other podcasts that have covered this, because I mean everyone has at this point, have explored the theory that Kalkins and Williams were dropped off in the Everglades and maybe
Nope.
had died as
You said Kalkins and
I'm sorry, Santos, and thank you. I was
Yep.
like, no, I was like, girl, I didn't even say the theory yet.
I'm like, you're done.
So a number of podcasts have explored the theory that Santos and Williams were dropped off in the Everglades. And they had died due to exposure and, like alligators
Exposure
and crocodiles
to what?
and whatever. I don't know, the Everglades. I don't go there. So I'm not volunteering to go. Anyways, this an NPR podcast called The Last Ride claimed in 2023 that Kalkins would not have had time to drive to the Everglades, drop them off, and come back based on the confirmed locations that day. Makes sense.
I agree with that.
And another somewhat weird theory is from a former sheriff's officer. Oh my gosh, a former sheriff's office employee suggesting that additional people besides Kalkins were involved on the men's disappearances. But no evidence had ever been uncovered to support this, and the person was pretty tight-lipped and then never came forward again.
Okay.
So, with all this being said, couple of things. One, these were both real people. They were men of color. They were stopped by law enforcement and never seen again. This obviously brings up the topic of accountability and, the power difference between the police and the people in the area. And so we don't really know what exactly happened. But we do know this is that like the saying is like two men walked into his custody and never walked out. So I have a description of both of them from that instance and also information. I don't know. I can put that at the end if you want to talk a little bit more theories and stuff, or should I do that now? It's up to you.
I would go ahead and do it now.
Okay. So Williams is described as black, 5 feet 8 inches tall, and 160 pounds with brown eyes and brown hair. He has several tattoos. He has a T above his left chest, E.T. on his right shoulder, and Terrance in red with blue highlights on his left forearm. He has a gold crown with the letter T on the upper right tooth, and the other upper front tooth is solid gold. He also has a vertical scar on his shoulder and a dark birthmark on the right side of his abdomen. He was last seen wearing a short-sleeved shirt, blue jeans, and brown Timberland boots. He was wearing diamond earrings and a watch with a silver band. The face of the watch was surrounded by white stones. At the time of his disappearance, he was in possession of a 1984 white Cadillac. Santos was 23 when he disappeared on October 14th,
Mm.
2003. I almost said 2003. He was last seen with Kalkins at the Green Tree Shopping Center at the intersection of Airport Pulling and Immokalee Roads in North Naples. He's a Hispanic man who stands at approximately 5 feet 7 inches and weighs 150 pounds. He has brown eyes and black hair, and he lived in Immokalee at the time of his disappearance.
Hmm.
So if you have any information or you believe, like, literally anything is something to report.
Yes,
Um,
always.
so you can call the Collier County Sheriff's Office at 239-252-9300, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 1-800-780-TIPS. So that's TIPS.
Hmm.
So let's talk. What are your thoughts, feelings?
Well, first, I want to say we'll also have the descriptions and the phone numbers below in both the show notes if you're listening, and in the YouTube description if you're
Yes.
watching.
Yep.
I want to talk more about the theory that they were dropped off at the edge of town.
Yeah.
I find this hard to believe because
100%.
this is not Saskatchewan, it's Florida. Even in January, you're not likely to freeze to death. And
Yep.
also, it was 10 a.m. You know what I mean? Like, if it was like between 9 and 10 a.m., speaking about Terrence, then I don't know. I just have I'm not saying it's not possible to be left somewhere and then to get lost, especially in Florida, but
Right.
I think that he had more nefarious intentions, and I do think that he killed both of them. That's my
What do
opinion.
you think he did with the bodies?
I don't know. I think that wherever he left them, they're likely the same place, and that these weren't the first two that he had done it to.
Right. These are the two that had so many unanswered questions as it came to people coming forward slash reports not being written or unfinished
Or
business,
like
essentially.
witnesses, you know what I mean? Because if he was stopping people in the middle of the night, and this is just pure speculation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Prior, if he had stopped people in the middle of the night where there were no witnesses, then he wouldn't have to put an incident report. So, of course, then the other two times he wouldn't do it because he got
Right.
cocky. This is,
Right.
like I said, truly speculation. Who knows? But I do think it's absolutely heartbreaking that they haven't even found either one of them so that the families can put them to rest.
I know. And it's like, I just like, can't wrap my head around the fact that he drove Santos a block to the Circle K and then told him he got out. Like, your story is so fucked up. Like, how are
Right.
you getting away with this? And mind you, to this day, I mean, not to this day, but like when the one article I read was like 2023 or something.
Hmm.
Um, Calkins lived in, oh, shit, I think it's Iowa. I should probably confirm this before I just start fucking talking shit about Iowa. I'm like, oh my God, Iowa sucks. No, I'm kidding, guys. I'm sorry.
She hates Ohio and Iowa.
You're
Don't
right.
forget.
I do. Um, let's see. While we're doing this, please keep filling me in on your thoughts.
Oh, that was mostly it. I mean,
Oh, he is in
obviously, I think
Iowa.
that, okay, you
Sorry,
did
sorry.
great. I don't think that the sheriff's theory is correct. That's insane. And also
Yeah.
just disrespectful. Just shut the fuck up at that point. Just don't even say anything.
Yep, I agree. Um, and like so many news outlets have covered this and have talked about it, and it's crazy to me because I had never heard of this until a week ago,
Yeah, this is insane.
right? And like, there's so many people that talk about the case and are quoted in the case, like the U.S. district, like the U.S. attorney at the time,
Hmm.
uh, was quoted saying like they were killed because of their color of their skin. Like, there's no, like, you can't tell me otherwise, which was like a super bold claim to be making then at that time.
Yeah,
Um, and I'm shocked he got fired, first of all.
I am too, but I don't think that there was anything that they could really say to be like, oh, it's fine.
Yeah. I was gonna say there was something else. I thought I had something else, but yeah. I mean, for me, the thing that I'm bothered by is that I don't know. I just don't like the fact that he can get away with these just this storyline, you know? Like, you're
And then
obviously
he,
lying out your ass. How are you
yeah.
getting away with this so long?
And then he had, and then Terrence's mom had to pay him money.
Which is so fucked up. That's
It's
beyond fucked
so
up.
fucked up.
I wonder if Crump could like pay it. You know what I mean? Like, because he does a lot of like pro bono work. Maybe he paid it. I don't know. But regardless, it's fucked up.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like it. I
I
don't
don't
like it. I
either.
do want to
This,
watch Tyler Perry's series. I need to do
hmm
that. Maybe we can do a follow up if I like completely fucked up the storyline and we like get
I
to the
don't
end. It's
think you
like her
did.
name was Marsha, and we're like,
Yeah.
shit.
I think you did a great job covering this.
Yeah, I think it's scary because you're supposed to trust your law enforcement, and then this happens. I mean, that's like a given with every story we talk about with law enforcement, but
Yeah, but especially with people of color.
yeah,
Just
which is
absolutely horrible.
yeah, yeah. So not spooky, scary stories, but actual real life scaries
Maybe even
today.
worse, I think.
Yeah, because it's. I just can't believe it's still. Oh, I saw a cat. I
Yep.
still can't believe it hasn't been solved. Like nothing has come from this.
Nothing. Nothing.
And you would think a $200,000 reward that would get a lot of people talking.
I don't think there's any information truly. But I can't believe they
Do you
haven't
think he
been
worked alone?
found. I don't know enough to be like yes or no, but it seems like it would be impossible, right? An hour? If he was gone an hour from the time he picked up Terrence to when he came back, like unless wherever he's going is right around the corner, then he has to be working with someone else.
Right. But also, like, no forensic evidence? Like, what?
It's not adding up.
Sus.
Yeah.
Sus. A little suspicious. Yeah, so anyways, sorry.
Yeah.
Traumatic episode, but very important to talk about because
It is
what
very
if, can
important.
you imagine if like somebody listened to us and they're like, oh my God, my mom told me this story one time and then their mother was there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who's
I
that
think
podcaster that like solved the crime while on his podcast?
what?
You know what I'm talking about? Wasn't there a podcaster that like solved the missing person or like the murder
You're
thing?
thinking of Payne Lindsay, but he didn't actually solve it. Technically, it was like in the process of already being solved, and he just happened to be recording
I
it at the
forgot.
time, is my understanding. Oh, Beach a Weech. I do think it's important to continue to bring these cases up again and again and again because they go through cycles of being in the news and then not being in the news. And so it is important to continue to talk about it, especially with people of color.
I agree. I agree.
So great
Okay,
job.
Peaches, put your butt away.
That's right. No buttholes for free. That's going to be our new slogan at this rate. I
Peaches.
think I say it every
Gross.
episode.
Now she's chewing on all the cords. It's
Super.
going really well here today, guys.
Yeah, we'd love to see it.
Um, if you made it this far, thank you so much for listening. I hope you're not tired of my voice yet. But a couple of things. If you want to give us some feedback on this episode or tell us your thoughts and your theories or have a story similar or just want to say hi, there's a couple ways you can do it. One is going to be through our email, which is waitforrealpod@gmail.com. Another is going to be sending us a text, and it's in the show notes. It just says, send us a text.
Mm-hmm.
And then another option would be messaging us on our social media. So our social media is going to be at Wait for Real Pod. That's POD. D as in dog. My cat is chewing on my hand right now. It's going really well for
Amazing.
me. This is true chaos in my household.
You don't need a hand.
And no, I don't. And a couple other things. If you want to give us a review on Apple Podcasts, we'd really appreciate it, as long as it's
Mm-hmm.
5 stars only. And I think you can give us stars on Spotify too,
Yep.
and all that fun stuff. And subscribe to us on YouTube. We're
Yes.
YouTubers. We are YouTubers. I logged
We're
into my
doing it.
YouTube the other day, like I was trying to find a video about Trisha Paytas, and
Mm-hmm.
literally it's like popped up of a picture of us with our episode, and I was like, oh my God, who is she? I was
I
like,
literally
jump
got
scare.
traumatized because I had like clicked on one of our episodes previously, like on my phone or something. And then, like, sometimes I'll watch YouTube on my TV or I put on like ambiance videos when I'm working. And I opened my YouTube and it's just us. And I was like, ew, why would you recommend
Right?
us to
Like
me?
jump
Like,
scare. Nope.
yeah, like, oh, no, thank you.
Oh God, the cat is stuck now. Okay, this is not going well.
Oh,
Peaches, I need you to go freaking be a cat somewhere else. Anyways, we need to end this while we can. Um, is there anything else I'm forgetting this week?
If you want to support
Probably.
us, you can buy us a coffee or a lighthouse or whatever you please in the link in our show notes. I was about to say bio. You
In
can
our
find us
bio.
on, you can find our personal Instagrams. It's like a little scavenger hunt. Good luck out there. Um,
Yeah, exactly.
I
Okay,
think
well, we'll
that's
leave
it.
it as we always do.
Go to therapy.
And don't forget to leave the lights on.